Show presented by Purina, the most family-friendly dog show there is, as kids get up close and personal with the top canines in the country.
The beautiful Ira.
Scottish Terrier. The Greyhound. The Brussels Griffon is your winner. Welcome to the 2018 National Dog Show presented by Purina, hosted by the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. John O'Hurley here, along with David Fry, Mary Carrillo, as we release the hounds.
And here they come, the sporting dogs to lead us off. They're bred to assist the hunter. Pointers and setters point and mark the game. The spaniels flush it, and the retrievers go and get it. High-energy dogs with great temperaments they want to please. That makes them great family dogs, as well as very good at what they do in the field. And here we go down the line, the English setter, the Gordon setter, the Irish setter, and the Irish red and white setter. Here's the pointer, the German short-haired pointer, the Weimaraner, the Vizsla, the wire-haired Vizsla, the Brittany, the German wire-haired pointer, the wire-haired pointing Griffon, the Lagotto Romagnolo, the Spinoni Italiano, the flat-coated retriever, the curly-coated retriever, the golden retriever, the Labrador retriever, the Chesapeake Bay retriever, the Nova Scotia duck-tolling retriever, the Nederlandse Keukerhondje, the Irish water spaniel, the English Springer Spaniel, the Welsh Springer Spaniel, the Field Spaniel, the Clumber Spaniel, the Sussex Spaniel, the English Cocker Spaniel, the Ascot Cocker Spaniel, the Party Cocker Spaniel, and the Black Cocker Spaniel. 33 breeds in the sporting group, John.
Our first examination right now, judging the sporting group, is Plaus Davern, assisted by Alan Welsh of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
We are in the Weimaraner, the Gray Ghost. Not so much for its color, but for its stealth abilities of just suddenly showing up without any notice. Great all-around gun dog. They were a big game dog early. Wolves, bear, deer, mountain lions.
Piercing green eyes.
Beautiful dog. This is Blaze. Rocket's Red Glare from Sandy Spring, Maryland, handled by Monique Mastrapasqua.
Would you have him face me, please?
Have him face me. I want to see those green eyes.
And around.
If you're joining us here at the Dog Show for the first time, each dog has a written standard that represents the perfect specimen of the breed. So every dog is actually being judged against that standard.
Here's the German wire-haired pointer. We've been doing this show so long, they're starting to name their dogs after members of our crew. This dog is named Steve. 4-year-old male from Frieden, New Jersey, Kelly Shope handling. But Steve lives with 2 combat veterans and has helped Michael with his PTSD. He alerts on his migraines. But he's a service dog for both of the owners, who are both veterans. Thank you for your service. You will never forget.
There's one happy camper. All right, take him around.
There's Steve. That coat is functional. It's weather resistant, harsh double coat. The beautiful German wire-haired pointer. And speaking of beautiful,
David, I don't recall in our 17 years of doing the show a more beautiful golden retriever than what I'm looking at right now. This is an absolutely beautiful, beautiful dog.
well, he's the #1 golden in the country. He's won 10 bests in shows. His name is Daniel. 4-year-old male from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, with Karen Mamano handling.
They're going with the country club names today, huh? We got Steve and Daniel. Look at that beautiful stride.
Has several field titles on this dog, and he also is a therapy dog. 4 years old. Karen, her expert handling. These dogs are not born with obedience degrees. You still have to work hard and make sure they're ready to live with you and your family. the state dog of Maryland, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. This is a dog that is the water champion of the dog world. Has a double coat, slightly oily to help with that waterproofing. And webbed feet, of course. It's supposed to have yellow or amber eyes. And going along with that official state dog of Maryland is the fact that they are the team mascot for the University of Maryland, Baltimore campus. The Chesapeake Bay Retriever Ducky. Registered name is Dr. Mallard, named after a character on NCIS.
Yes, right.
Gets the call name Ducky. 8 years old. Breeder, owner, handler Annie Henshaw. From Mattapoisett, Massachusetts. Annie, the handler. Her grandparents brought her into the sport. Since the age of 7, she's been showing the dogs. And here's one of our 2 new breeds for this year. John, I'm going to let you do the honors. You've been great with this dog's name all week long.
Thank you so much. This is the Nederlandse Keukenhund.
There you go, the Bandit.
I had to step back and run into that.
This is Bandit. Actually, this is the only sporting breed in which the game follows the dog. His job is to lead the ducks down a canal that ends in a net to capture them. In the old days, that was then to take them to market. These days, they capture them and band them and turn them back loose so that they can do some wetlands and conservation research with the data they collect. Rod Beckstead owns this dog, Heather Bremer handling. The Pied Piper of the dog world, the ducks follow the dog.
Yes, I'm a new breed. What about it?
There's Bandit. Bandit's done a lot of TV work with us, John. From Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
The Nederlandse Keukenhund.
You're getting better at that every time.
It just feels good in my mouth.
The Irish Water Spaniel.
We'd like to remind you we're not able to show you the walk and examinations of every dog in the sporting group. But if you go online to nationaldogshow.com, you can watch every breed winner in our Best in Breed online video special that includes the expert commentary of Wayne Ferguson from the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
Number 1 Irish Water Spaniel in the country. Dr. Mark Barker is the owner-handler here. He's from Oklahoma. Doctor told me he first saw the breed on TV at the National Dog Show in 2013. Went out and got one, and here he is now.
We've had some effect.
How about that? This is Bays. Look at that rat tail, the top knot. Those are kind of the distinguishing characteristics of the breed. Those tight ringlets and the water-repellent coat that it has. Strong dog. They have to be able to break ice and retrieve the geese. Beautiful dog, the Irish Water Spaniel.
This is her first cut, David.
She's walking down the line and picking out the dogs that she wants to choose amongst for her 4 placements. Nice lineup. You can hardly go wrong with the dogs that she's putting into her good pile, as you say.
Chesapeake.
She did pull the golden.
Of course she did. Yes, she's listening to us. Most of the judges do, I think we found.
What a great lineup. I love it.
She loves this lineup.
Chesapeake.
The Chesapeake Bay Retriever is your sporting group winner, David.
Beautiful. The Legato Romagnolo is second. The Flatcoat Retriever is third. And the Irish Water Spaniel is fourth.
And Mary Carrillo is with us backstage.
Thank you very much.
Canadian dogs are one of the oldest and rarest breeds, and they are natural-born herders. David Golden, you found that out firsthand with Avi, didn't you?
We did. Our neighbors recently got, of all things, a llama by the name of Martha, and the very next day, Laura calls and says, Martha's escaped.
The llama is
The
gone.
llama is gone. Can you bring Avi and come help us get the llama? So Avi sort of looks at the llama looks at Avi, he runs out, he drives the llama through the gate, across a pasture and in the barn, llama saved. So
Is this a true story?
it's a true story. He's a show dog, but he's not just another pretty face.
Congratulations, Avi. All right, John and David, back to you.
What a wonderful story, David. The herding group is up. Take us down the line.
Here we go, John. First one up is a very recognizable German Shepherd dog, the Belgian Malinois, the Belgian Sheepdog, the Belgian Tervuren. Here's the Briard, the Berger Picard, the Pyrenean Shepherd, the Rough Collie, the Smooth Collie, the Australian Shepherd, the Mini American Shepherd, the Shetland Sheepdog, the Border Collie, the Bearded Collie, the Old English Sheepdog, the Polish Lowland Sheepdog, the Puli, the Pumi, the Canaan Dog, Avi, the Australian Cattle Dog, the Bouvier de Flandre, the Beauceron, the Bergamasco, the Entley Booker Mountain Dog, the Norwegian Buhund, the Icelandic Sheepdog, the Spanish Water Dog, the Cardigan Welsh Corgi, and the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. 31 breeds in the herding group, John. Herding dogs were split off from the working group in 1983 to have their own group. Athletic, energetic, smart. Of course, they move livestock from one place to another.
And here's our first up right now.
The Berger Picard. Fairly recently recognized 2015. The owners call them Picards. The coat's supposed to be a little rustic in the ring. They're supposed to look like they're 20 minutes late. This is Jean-Luc Picard. In fact, named after the Star Trek captain, Newtown, Pennsylvania, Kevin Bednar handling. He's a therapy dog, God bless him. But he also has herding instinct titles, farm dog title, lure coursing, rally, and he can skateboard.
No kidding. This was a breed that you remember from Because of Winn-Dixie back there, 2005. And people thought it was a mutt.
Well, the Picard is the comedian of the group. This is the CEO, the Border Collie. One of the great show dogs in this country, Slick. Won 49 Best in Shows.
He's a very successful agility dog. Very, very smart. But boy, do they need time and space.
I really do. Don't get one if you live in an apartment. That's the advice from a New York guy. But he's from Philadelphia. Jamie Clute, the handler for Ricky Johnson, the owner. Won the group at Westminster this year earlier.
This is a nice looking one.
Beautiful dog.
You're hearing the duck sounds in the back. And our judge,
Harley Husson.
Harley is assisted by Mary Beth O'Neill of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. But the duck noises are wonderful. Those are all his.
Here's Avi, the Canaan dog. You just saw a great story about Avi. These dogs, this breed is like 3,000 years old, John. And he grew up there as a feral dog almost in the desert. And actually were domesticated eventually to guard the Jewish settlements in the 30s. But they are the national dog of Israel. Avi, #1 Canaan dog in the country for the past 2 years from Marshall, Virginia, with Brittany Cipriotti handling. Her owners Cynthia Dodson and David Golden.
You can see very confident, very alert, vigilant.
Great athletic dog. Their feral origins really kind of lead to this whole natural thing about their temperament and their size and shape.
Here is the Bergamasco.
Our mustache dog, John.
We had a lot of fun with this.
Ancient breed from the Alps.
Well, they do washer and woolite, so.
So they do washer and woolite. I don't know. Did you hear that? That was a great comment from the handler to the judge.
That's our free commercial for the day. Washed and woolite.
And the funny thing is they're really supposed to have this rustic, ungroomed appearance.
3 different types of coats there. Makes this a very unusual dog when you put your hands on.
Well, it's a triple coat, so when it comes together, it looks like the cords of the Commodore, but it's a triple coat, so they call them flocks, not cords. They're considered hypoallergenic if there is any such thing as hypoallergenic in the dog world. I'm not so sure there is, totally. But this is Fajia, Amanda Shea handling, Durham, Connecticut. Fajia's been actively herding sheep.
And speaking of coats, here's a beautiful one. This is the Spanish water dog.
Another recently new breed.
Naturally curly here, huh?
Yes. They're called, and even though it says water dog, they really are kind of a general farming dog and a herding dog. They have a rectangular shape to them, a dock tail or bobtail, either. And they're great athletic dogs. They excel at a bunch of dog sports. This is Emmanuel from Slovakia. We have dogs from about 15 different countries here.
Our show has grown over 17 years to an international spectacle, hasn't it, huh?
It is. Janet Ron is the handler here and the owner. Dog's into duck diving. There's your water dog.
And here is a big dog in a small package. I have watched these dogs ramble around the hooves of horses, and they never seem to get hurt.
When they get kicked every once in a while, well, they're tough little athletic dogs. My Pembroke friends tell me he's not a small dog, just short. Charming little guys. This is Bella, a female, #1 Pembroke in the country this year. Hudson, Ohio, with Kara Janizek handling. Bella.
Also has been known to herd cattle as well, huh?
That's it. Remember the movie Little Dog Lost? I don't remember it. It was 50 years ago, but...
Back in your misspent youth.
Yes. Beautiful dog. See, they have no tail. They're a little shorter in length than the Cardigan Welsh Corgi.
And I will say they are some of the cutest puppies I have ever seen.
With those ears are huge. He's walking down the line now, starting to make his cut. Get his little duck voice going again. He walked up to me, Arlie walked up to me before the show, handed me a picture of me showing a dog to him 30 years ago.
Isn't that something? That was back in your Afghan days.
Back in my Afghan hound days, back in my youth. I did have a youth once. He's making his cut here. Nice group. Herding group looked great today. It's got a lot of top dogs in there as well.
He pulled out the Old English sheepdog. You see that there? Very recognizable breed. Corgi was pulled as well. Both corgis were pulled.
Both corgis. A Corgi Fest. There's a German Shepherd. What a beautiful dog.
Boy, this is a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah.
There he is, looking like a bit of a yodeler today, isn't he? And his winner is the Pembroke Welsh Corgi.
And here in our Corgi Fest, he gives the Cardigan Welsh Corgi second, the Border Collie third, and the German Shepherd fourth.
All great-looking dogs. He picked a great group today. And for a closer look at how these dogs get show ready, we send it back to Johnny Weir and Tara Lipinski.
So we're here with Brian and Lennox, a Great Dane. Now, Johnny, is this your long-lost cousin? Because the ears, you really resemble a Great Dane today.
Lennox, we have the same ears. We have the same ears, right? Now, with Bowie, how much training goes into preparing for the National Dog Show?
Bowie started training for this when he was 4 weeks old.
And how often does he compete?
We usually are out 2 to 3 weekends out of the month.
There's nothing understated about a Shih Tzu. So talk us through the process of getting Sophia show ready.
We start at the bath. It takes 2 to 3 hours.
Just a lot of conditioner?
Tons of conditioner.
Can you send us to break?
Speak.
Oh, you can do better. Yes.
Speak.
Break.
We'll be right back.
The National Dog Show, presented by Purina, is sponsored in part by Kohl's and is brought to you by Purina, your pet, our passion. Hello again, John O'Hurley here saying happy Thanksgiving to all of you, joined by my co-host, who, I have it on good authority, actually invented dogs. David Fry, who is joining us today in the middle.
Hey, this is Buzz. He's a Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen, one of 2 new breeds this year. He's has a great time in the show ring.
Well, David, it's really been a thrill for both of us over the past 17 years to watch the show grow and evolve. We now have 2,000 of the best dogs in the country, nearly 200 different breeds here, entries from every state in the union, and 5 international entries. It's expanded beyond us into an international show.
Well, in keeping with the holiday tradition here on Thanksgiving Day, we look at this as kind of a family reunion or a convention of all of our great friends and people and the dogs that come with them to make a great dog show.
Well, let's talk about the competition itself, and let's move to the Terrier group. We have some of the top dogs within their breed here represented today. But the Terriers, we have number 1 and number 2 going head-to-head.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of a shootout in the Terrier group. That'll be kind of fun. These 2 top Terriers have been going back and forth all year long, a Wire Fox Terrier and a Norfolk. Let's see who comes out. Maybe it'll be a different Terrier altogether.
All right, the track to Best in Show continues. All righty, continuing on with the working group, David, here they are in the ring.
The big guys, most of them are big and strong, smart. Their uses vary and their appearances vary, but most of them powerfully built. They're all pretty smart to be able to do the things we ask of them, like guard our homes, work the farm animals, security, police, military dogs. And here we are with our lineup. The Doberman Pinscher leads it off, the German Pinscher, the Black Russian Terrier, the Giant Schnauzer, the Standard Schnauzer, the Rottweiler, the Bernese Mountain Dog, the Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, the Alaskan Malamute, the Siberian Husky, the Samoyed, the Akita, the Boxer, the Great Dane, Harlequin Great Dane, the Bull Mastiff, the Mastiff, the Neapolitan Mastiff, the Cane Corso, the Dog de Bordeaux, the Borbo, the Portuguese Water Dog, the Newfoundland, the Leonberger, the St. Bernard, the Great Pyrenees, and the Komondor. 30 breeds in the working group, John.
And first up, the very recognizable Doberman. You know that head.
Beautiful dogs. I always say they're an elegant athlete in a tight-fitting wrapper. Indeed they are. Dogs have done a lot for us. We have a U.S. War Dog Cemetery in Guam. The statue Always Faithful by Susan Bahari. Great dogs. This is Irupe, who was the #1 working dog in Argentina in 2017.
There you see the judge, Javinder Singh Pawar, assisted by Stephen Sampson, and Alan Welsh of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
Carissa Champano handling for Nancy Bosley of Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Beautiful dog.
Very distinctive athletic body.
You know, sometimes these dogs are so smart and so well trained that you tend to forget that they are real dogs and not just some kind of a statue standing out there the way they get them to stack. Beautiful dog, nicely presented. Good job. John, every year we have a great entry of Siberian Huskies. They have a big specialty. They have 60 or 70 dogs. This year was no exception with Mighty Mo, #1 Siberian in the country the last 3 years.
We'll remind you right now that in order to get here into the group, they had to have won their breed earlier today.
These dogs are athletic first and foremost. You can see that. And of course, you can't look at a Siberian without thinking about the great Balto and the statue in New York Central Park as a memorial to the legacy of them leading the diphtheria vaccine serum run by a dog team from Juneau to Nome. Saved thousands of lives in the early 20s. They have a desire to run, which means you can never totally trust them off leash. Mighty Mo. Tim Torella handling. The dog is from Tokyo, Japan. The owner is. The dog was bred in Japan. But he runs on a sled team in his off time.
And here is the big dog who thinks he's a lap dog. The Great Dane. Unusual markings on this Dane, dappled almost like a Dalmatian.
This is Dory.
You know, I say that, but have you ever seen the Great Dane back up into you and try to just put itself onto your lap?
They all do. It's amazing. They really are kind of a moderate energy breed. They don't need to have a lot of property. This is the Harlequin Great Dane. They are the state dog of Pennsylvania and the Kennel Club of Philadelphia, of course. But they were originally war dogs. They could never be a war dog today. They're just wonderful, giant, elegant, all of those things. Green wit handling. 21 specialty shows this dog has won.
And we'll be back with more of the working group right after this.
One of the most distinctive coats in all of dogdom is the coat of the Dalmatian. And Patty Sosa, you're going to be judging Dalmatians. They're magnificent, but how do you spot the best Dalmatian in a group?
When they walk in, we're not only looking for the spots, which are very distinctive to the breed, we want to look at ears, eyes, pigment. We're looking at structure.
Looking at spots?
We're looking at spots, yes. And they are ranging in sizes from dime all the way up to $50. And we do want to see them dispersed evenly all over the body. And it just makes a Dalmatian a Dalmatian.
Oh boy, they're beautiful animals.
They are lovely.
Patty, thanks for explaining all that to
Thank
us.
you.
David and John, back to you.
And we continue with the working group. This is the Leon Burger. And talk about big.
They are big. Another dog from Germany here in the working group with our Schnauzers Great Dane. Yes, a Great Dane is from Germany. And the Dobermans. This is Mufasa, the Leon Burger, named after the Lion King, one of the stars. And the males are supposed to have a mane, so that makes sense to name them after a lion. But Mufasa is 3 years old from Falston, Maryland. Michael Scott handling, but this dog came here from Slovakia.
It's a lot of growing in 3 years.
Big, beautiful, popular
They
dogs.
are. They're very elegant.
Gentle giants.
As big as they are, they're very elegant. Wonderful family dogs as well, and that's something you can say about this entire group. The Newfoundlands as well, and certainly this one, a very recognizable face, the St. Bernard.
Doc Holliday is this dog. He's 4 years old from Barrington, New Hampshire. Michelle Cole handling. But Doc Holliday is an animal actor. I think he's a SAG guy just like us. He appeared as Linda in a beer commercial.
Oh.
And then after a skating party at 30 Rock, he hung out with the NBC CEO.
I did Beethoven Saves Christmas, the film with the St. Bernard. That's where I learned that 40 below centigrade and 40 below Fahrenheit meet at the same point.
That's good to know. Good to know. Michelle Cole is a breeder owner handler here. Doc Holliday. Beautiful little puppies. Don't buy them because they're cute puppies. Buy them because you know they're going to grow up to look like this. They should not be the least bit unfriendly, and if they are, turn and walk away. Love me, love my dog. What comes from St. Bernard's.
And here is the very recognizable Commodore.
John, I remember one of the first things you said to me about 17 years ago as we celebrate our anniversary together. When you saw a Commodore, you said this would be your initial investment if you owned a car wash.
That's right. The Commodore is your brushless car wash.
This is Addison. It's actually a two-year-old female, young dog. That's why the coat is short like that. Hellertown, Pennsylvania, owned by Janet Capullo, handled by Ernesto Lara. These cords are the mixture of two coat, the outer coat and the undercoat. You have to have these cords by the time they're 2 years old or they're disqualified. But
David, talk about the maintenance on a coat like that.
it's surprising. You just have to guide it a little bit as opposed to grooming it all the time. But there's a lot of cords in there. A famous dog named Dahu, great Commodore, they had a little pool going. They cut, when he was retiring, they cut 2,774 cords off of him that weighed 15 pounds.
All right, he's making his initial cut right now.
Got a beautiful group. Haven't said that before today, have I?
We've been blessed with some beautiful dogs today, David.
A lot of number 1 dogs in their breed. A few of the top dogs that are in their groups. 6 of the top 11 show dogs in the country are here. And we have about 15 countries represented by the time we figured it all out.
Looking up and down the line, he's made his choice. It is the Doberman.
The dog from Argentina, the German breed. The Doberman wins it. Second goes to the Commodore. Third to the Siberian Husky, and fourth to the Newfoundland.
As we continue on our road to the best in show, we have the sporting, the herding, the working, and the toys are busy prepping and prepping for their moment on the blue carpet. The littlest and the lovable are coming up next. Earlier today, we welcomed Sergeant David Fuller, United States Marine Corps veteran and clinical social worker, into the ring to honor him and his dog Katie, who are graduates of the Pets and Vets program. David told us what the program and having Katie has meant to him.
It's totally changed my life. I can go out, I can spend time with my family, I can do things that I wouldn't do before because of having PTSD and the symptoms. And so being paired with Katie has given me my life back. Just, she's there with me with the unconditional love.
A wonderful initiative. If you tell us why you're thankful for your pet, use #DogThanking and tagging @Purina. Every post shared through November 25th. Purina will donate $1 to the Pets and Vets program.
Hey, don't forget us. Here come the toys. They're just as important as the big guys. They resemble their larger cousins a lot. They're perfect portability, perfect as companions for city dwellers. And here they go. The toy dogs. The Italian Greyhound leads it off, the Chinese Crested. A unique view from the toy poodle. The Pomeranian. The smooth coat Chihuahua chatting it up with the long coat Chihuahua, the toy Fox Terrier, the miniature Pinscher, the toy Manchester Terrier, the Havanese, the Maltese, the Shih Tzu, and the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, the English toy Spaniel Blenheim and Prince Charles, the English toy King Charles and Ruby, the Japanese Chin, the Papillon, the Silky Terrier, the Yorkshire Terrier. There's the Affin Pinscher, the Brussels Griffon, the Pug, and along with me at home, everybody, the Pekingese.
Yes, that Pekingese.
23 breeds and varieties in the toy group.
Let's begin with a real handsome fella here. This is an Italian Greyhound.
You were very much taken with this dog, John, and you should be. They were developed really as a small breed to resemble the Greyhound. These are really the smallest and very fast sight hound.
How sleek that coat is.
The people in the Italian Greyhound world tell me they are great with children, but they must be good-natured and gentle, adding parenthetically, the children, that is. This is Timber, named as a puppy when it climbed out of its whelping box constantly and fell to the ground with cheers of timber from the people watching it. Bob Steele handling for Jutta Kulik from Medina, Ohio. 2-year-old Timber. Timber's in charge at home of 2 Spanonis. They call them the 3 Amigas. They're all Italians. They speak the same language, so they get along just fine.
Judging the toy group today is Tammy K. Jackson, who is sporting her own personal style herself, assisted by Cynthia Sansone and Ron Scott of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
The long coat Chihuahua. What a great look.
What a great little face.
This is Pip.
Thank you.
From Parkton, Maryland. Drew Katz.
Oh, look at that. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Some would say not fair, David, not fair.
Everything that helps. Owner handler Drew Katz, who's a veterinarian. Little Pip here weighed 1 pound at 12 weeks old when they got him. He now weighs 3.5 pounds.
Appropriately named Pip, huh? A little bundle of energy.
Says he rules over the Doberman in the house, so that doesn't surprise me at all. These little Chihuahuas sometimes, you know, they think they're bigger than it is, and sometimes they need protection from themselves with their little Napoleonic complex.
That is adorable. Adorable. And we'll be back with more of the Toy Group right after this. Well, nothing quite says autumn like the falling of the leaves or the bewilderment of our dogs over the falling of the leaves. Welcome back to the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center. This is our toy group continuing, and the Havanese, a beauty.
The lovely Marin, who's just 10 months old, have a tough time living up to her registered name, which is It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Her mom's name was Bottoms Up.
Oh, no. And sired by the back end of a 13-day Chianti binge.
Oh, her sire actually was the #1 Havanese in the country during that binge. So
such a docile little dog for such a potent registered name.
Gia Garofalo is the breeder, owner, handler here from Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Look at that little face.
The Havanese Silk Dog, as they were once called, is originally belonged to the upper class in Cuba. When communism ended the classes, the breed virtually disappeared, and 11 of them or so escaped to the U.S., and here they are today, very popular.
And one of them is in the O'Hurley household, our little Lucy. We love this breed tremendously. I recommend it highly. And here is another breed that we have, the Cavalier King Charles. This is the Love Bucket.
John, you and I have Cavaliers that are cousins. So our dogs at home, the Havanese, your Havanese, Lucy, and our Cavaliers. Angel, I know you're watching. You have somebody to root for. I call it the alma mater factor. If you've got a Cavalier sitting on the couch next to you at home, that's the dog you should be rooting for here.
We have one that looks very much like ours. Ours is Sadie Mae.
This is Bogey. He's a 3-year-old male from Stockbridge, Vermont, with Evan Threlfall handling. Cavaliers are great, aren't they? They live for a lap.
They sure do. But they are Spaniels. And I'll tell you, once you let the door open, they go. If we left the door open in our house, it would be in Canada in about 2 hours.
Well, listen, they are a sporting dog, really, and a toy dog. So they are just happy little, living their life big.
Now, I can't tell you which end of the dog you're looking at here, but I'm going to take a guess. There we are.
Congratulations.
There we are. There's that little face on the peak.
The Pekingese, this is Primrose, 2-year-old female with David Fitzpatrick, the breeder, owner, handler. David has had all the best Pekingese through the years here. Actually has a dog who was in the top 20 that just recently retired. He brings out Primrose here. East Berlin, Pennsylvania, David Fitzpatrick, breeder, owner, handler. The dog's grandfather was best in show at Westminster about 5 years ago.
When you're ready, straight up and back.
Malachi. There's sacred dogs in ancient China. They were protected so much so that smugglers trying to get the dogs out were put to death.
Has that rolling little gait.
They're heavy in the front. They're much larger in the front than the rear, and they feel heavy when you pick them up. That's why you'll see a judge pick them up off the table sometime to feel that.
Great little watchdogs, too, though.
Well, they used to work as a watchdog. And they sound the alarm.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Right around, please.
Awesome is right. They date back to 8th century China. One of the most popular toy breeds, the lion dog.
Yes. Living life 10 inches off the ground.
Very nice collection of toy dogs.
Long coat.
Angel, the Cavalier needs your help.
Havanese, please.
Miniature poodle was pulled.
Shih Tzu, Cavalier.
And our little long-haired Chihuahua.
Yorkie.
Chihuahua went to a lot of work to get that pull, you know, licking the judge.
And the peak is being sherped over there to the group.
The only sport where you can get away with licking the referee.
Yep. Well, you do it in baseball occasionally.
I think it
but
does
It's
happen.
just wrong on so many accounts.
Oh, I think she's made her pick.
Well, it's the Cavalier King Charles. Sadie Mae, you're watching at home?
Sadie and Angel Reuter home. That's great. Got the Cavalier out front, the Yorkie, the Yorkshire Terrier second, the Shih Tzu third, and the Pekingese fourth.
And that leaves us 3 groups to best in show. And up next, what is it like to grow up in the dog show business?
The sport of dogs. It's just a great family sport.
We are sisters outside of the ring, but when we get in the ring, it's all competitive also. I love dogs. I love loving them. I have a lot of love to give, so, you know.
It's a family affair here at the National Dog Show. We are here with Emma, Faith, Julia, and Sophia Rogers.
So how did the family get into showing dogs?
We got a Great Dane puppy, and then it just started from there.
So are you the older sister?
Yes. My mom likes to joke that we didn't come from a dog show family, but I created one.
You created one. You've grown up in dog shows since you were 11, right? You started at 11. How did you get into it?
My family actually shows dogs. My aunt used to let me play around with her dogs when I was like 8, and when I was 11, my dad got me a Saluki of my own, and yeah, we've been coming every weekend basically since then.
Now your mom bred dogs, and you grew up in the dog world. Was it just going to be a given that Porter would as well?
Yes, absolutely. Even if I didn't do this full time, we would always be involved in the sport of dogs, and so he definitely will be.
So how long do you think you'll continue doing this?
My whole life. I love this.
And do you think that you're going to have your daughters one day showing dogs?
Yes.
Oh, keeping it in the family.
Yeah. Yes.
What is so magical about it? Everyone we talk to here is so addicted to it.
Generations of happy time.
Yes. Well, it's just so much fun. Everybody loves their pet, right? So we're so happy to present them to the sport, and then to have our family that we create here from going every single weekend, year in and year out. It's just a great family sport. We all connect on that level.
And we move on to the hound group now. David, take us down the line.
Here we are, the Afghan hound, the Saluki, the Abithan hound. Here's the Pharaoh hound, the Cherneco del Etna, the Greyhound, the Whippet, the Borzoi, a black Borzoi, the Scottish Deerhound, Irish Wolfhound, the American Foxhound, the English Foxhound, the Harrier, the Big Beagle, 15-inch, the 13-inch Beagle, the Rhodesian Ridgeback, the Norwegian Elkhound, the Basenji, the Portuguese Podengo Pequeño, the Black and Tan Coonhound, the Blue Tick Coonhound, the Plot, the Bloodhound, the Otterhound, the Petit Passé Griffon Vendéen, the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen, the Basset Hound, the Smooth Dachshund, the Long-Haired Dachshund, and the Wire-Haired Dachshund. 34 breeds and varieties in the hound group. Chasers, trackers, and hunters, when you watch them run out in the ring, think about them in the field. They're sight hounds and scent hounds, form following function. The taller ones are usually the scent hounds who run their prey down. The shorter ones, short legs, closer to the ground, are scent hounds that form following function. They were originally sporting dogs because they're hunters. They have an independent sort of intelligence about them. Here's the very recognizable Whippet named Whiskey.
And one of the fastest dogs, up to 35 miles an hour. And if you like acceleration from 0 to 35, there's not a faster dog around.
They can do it. And I think we ought to invite Whiskey to the It's 5 O'Clock Somewhere party.
Judging the hound group is Joe Walton, assisted by Dwayne and Connie Buferris of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
Breeder, owner, handler Justin Smithy here with Whiskey, who's the #1 hound in the country, #1 Whippet for 2018. It's won 19 all-breed bests in show. The dog is from Tuana, Virginia.
See a little of that acceleration there. These dogs are fast. They'll give a greyhound a run for its money. And this is traditionally the largest dog in the world of dog shows, the Irish Wolfhound.
Gertrude, a 3-year-old female, #1 Irish Wolfhound in all breed competition. Peter Kubas handling. Peter won Best in Show here in 2010 with your Irish setter named Clooney.
Oh, I remember it well. The only time I've been right.
These dogs are supposed to be able to run, and bulk isn't better. They're not supposed to be so heavy that they can't run and be athletic. They're supposed to be like a rough-coated greyhound.
Does their ability to clean off a tabletop, is that in the written standard as well? Because they're tall enough to do that.
They're right at table level. They were originally wolf hunters. They ran out of wolves in Ireland, and the breed nearly died out in the late 1700s.
Well, look at that face. Here he goes, the youngest handler of the day. Look at this, looking very Harry Potter-esque. Who is this, David?
This is Hayden Strouderman. He's showing Odyssey, who is a Harrier, in keeping with the Harry Potter theme.
Hayden and the Harrier, our new version.
Hayden's from Gettysburg. His dog's from Biglerville, Pennsylvania.
Look at how much fun he's having, though, huh? He stacks that dog right up. Oh, this is wonderful to see. Look at that. He's got his little,
He's having a great time.
He's
showing Odyssey.
Look at that. Very good.
Here's a kind of a smaller version of the foxhound.
Look at the smile on his face. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Very nice. Right around, please.
And like us, he's got his bow tie on. He got the dress code memo. Look at him. He's having a great time.
A little skip step in there. Oh, that's so fun to see. Look at that. It's been great watching Sonny grow up. And you can catch him on the Today Show right here on NBC. And back here at the 2018 National Dog Show presented by Purina, we are in the midst of the Hound Group judging.
Here's the Bloodhound. You know, dog shows are supposed to identify superior breeding stock to help carry on the next generation of healthy, happy dogs. And here we have a great example of that. This is Wesley, whose sire was Best in Show, Nathan, here in 2014.
Wasn't that long ago.
About that. #1 Bloodhound in the country from Pembroke, Massachusetts, handled by Heather Buhner-Helmer.
Bloodhound is a very special breed.
Oldest and most famous of the scent hounds. Most highly developed nose.
Very good. Right around, please.
Makes them so good at what they do. Those big ears help gather the scent into their nose.
It's said that they can actually pick up the scent of a human being with just a simple single skin cell.
Here's our other new breed. This is the Grand Basset Griffon Vendéen.
Beautifully put. Your French is intact?
That's what Mrs. Bach kept telling me in high school, that my French would come in handy someday, and that was a few years ago. But the Grand Basset. This is Buzz. Buzz was on the Open with us from Bealton, Virginia. Briley Cipriotti handling. Briley was the first junior handler to qualify for Westminster with a Grand. She and her identical twin sister, Angèle, both active in junior showmanship. Buzz Lightyear, 4 years old. The Grand is a French hunting dog, a French scent hound.
Reminding you that we are not able to show you the walk-in examinations of every dog in the Hound Group, but if you missed one of your favorite dogs, go online to nationaldogshow.com, where we have the video and expert commentary on all 192 different breeds from today's National Dog Show presented by Purina.
And talking about ears to gather the scent up, take a look right here at the very recognizable Basset Hound. This is Sullivan. Sullivan was actually the #1 dog all breeds in 2016 in Brazil. So we got Brazil, we got Argentina here today. Something like 15 dogs that came from foreign countries.
Wonderful to see it grow and evolve.
Adriana Roca handling this dog for the owner, Jeffrey Deaver. You may recognize as the famous author, wrote The Bone Collector, involved in other books and movies.
You know, they say that these dogs have no speed but have great endurance. And they lock onto a scent. So we won't pull them off.
They work all day. So they've got to be sound because they go forever. Close
Wonderful
to the ground, great
sad
nose.
clown face. he's pulling his first group now, David.
Making his cuts. We heard him ask for the American Foxhound, the blue tick.
Bloodhound.
And the Bloodhound that we just saw. That's a good-looking Bloodhound, definitely.
And the PBGB. These hounds, as you look at them, you can just imagine them doing their job. That's the important thing for you to do as a judge and as a spectator for us here on television.
Beautiful Afghan.
We want, after 17 years, for you to have some idea of what's going on here.
The Whippet is one.
The Whippet is number one.
The beautiful Whippet wins it, #1 hound in the country. No big surprise there. Afghan is second. The American Foxhound is third. And the blue tick coonhound is fourth.
And that means we have 2 groups left before Best in Show. And Mary Carrillo has a story of 2 top handlers who are also lifelong friends.
Gabriel Rangel and Ernesto Lara are 2 of the more decorated terrier handlers around. And they've been around these dogs and each other since their childhood in Mexico City. How far back is this friendship?
40-something years. 40-something.
40-something years? So were you competing against each other in dog shows when you were kids?
Yes. Well, not against each other, but we show dogs at the same time. Right. We just do our best, each one. And
that's right. It's not about exactly.
Let it up to the judge.
That's right.
Of course.
It's the dogs. It's always the dogs.
I know, but you 2 have very good records. You live on the West Coast.
Yes.
You live on the East Coast.
Yes.
Do you have different styles of handling?
Of course, it's just like style in everything. Like when somebody is a writer, somebody is a singer, it's a different style. I can be him, he can be me.
Have you learned a lot from each other after all these years?
Oh, we keep on doing it, yes.
Is that right?
Yes, yes. And when I go to the West Coast, I go and stay with him, and he receives me and he gives me all the tools that I don't have to travel with, and we go for dinner, and when he's in the East Coast, it's just the same thing. It's about the dogs and we're friends. We will always be friends.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see Ernesto and Gabriel compete when the Terriers take to the group ring. Coming up next. The Kennel Club of Philadelphia has a long and proud history dating back to the late 1800s. The National Dog Show is one of the oldest sporting events in America. The Kennel Club uses this and other contributions to support a variety of canine causes. And our on-site announcer is Wayne Ferguson, president of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. The Terrier group is up next, David.
And here we go, starting it off with the Airedale Terrier, the Irish Terrier. There's the Welsh Terrier, the Lakeland Terrier, the Wire Fox Terrier, the Smooth Fox Terrier, the Parson Russell Terrier, the Russell Terrier, the Border Terrier, the Kerry Blue Terrier, the soft-coated Wheaton Terrier, the Bedlington Terrier, the Rat Terrier, the American Hairless Terrier, the Miniature Schnauzer, the Australian Terrier, the Cairn Terrier, the Scottish Terrier, the Sealyham Terrier, the Chesky Terrier, the West Highland White Terrier, the Skye Terrier, the Dandy Dinmont Terrier, the Glenavermont Terrier, the American Staffordshire Terrier, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, the Miniature Bull Terrier, the Norfolk Terrier, and the Norwich Terrier. 32 breeds and varieties in the Terrier group. The Terrier group comes from the word terra, which means going to ground for these dogs. They are looking for trouble all the time. They go into holes looking for them. They chase them out of rock piles, even hunt for them in other places as well. The Terriers.
I thought you were going to say it came from the word terror, of which they are.
A lot of people would say that too, but I'm trying to be a kinder, gentler dog guy, John.
This is the wire-haired Fox Terrier.
This is 7-year-old King. You all remember King from going Best in Show at the Beverly Hills Dog Show that we showed you last Easter.
And we'll be doing again. You'll be seeing that on NBC on Easter Sunday evening.
King from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Owner Victor Malzoni, a great dog man. Here's Gabriel Rangel, familiar face. Gabriel's won 2 bests at Westminster and also won 3 bests here at the National Dog Show. Beautiful dog. He's 7 years old because he had a show career in Brazil for several years before he got here. Beautiful dogs. Great. The WEIR is a little more exaggerated than the smooth fox terrier. They have this wonderful kind of coconut matting coat that you're not supposed to be able to part and see the skin. They need to be plucked 4 to 8 times a year to maintain that coat. Here's a beautiful soft-coated Wheaton Terrier, John. They have a little different coat than most terriers. It's a single coat that's soft and silky. Beautiful look. This is Blaine. Blaine's 11 months old, has been doing a lot of winning already. Breeder, owner, handler, Sydney Robinson from Ottawa, Canada.
Irish in origin. It's a very happy breed.
This dog gets an invitation to our party, too, because its registered name is Raise Your Glass. We're putting together a great party here for a little post-show celebration.
Yep.
They say Blaine loves to run on the beach, but now is switching to loving playing in the snow up there in Ottawa.
There's a little toy in the ring there.
Great little dog.
It is, dashing with his goatee.
He won the breed specialty at Montgomery County this year at just 11 months of age.
Always love seeing this, the Bedlington Terrier, very unusual. Judging the Terrier group is Connie Clark, assisted by Peter Green and Harry Booker of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
The head of a lamb, the heart of a lion. Great little athletic dogs. Their coat's a little different as well. It's supposed to be linty, not cottony, and they're usually blue. The Bedlington people want you to believe that they work harder at trimming and grooming their dog than anybody else. And they might have a case for that. Gabby Gilboa is the breeder, owner, handler here from Leesburg, Virginia. It's another young dog, a 12-month-old male named Zoolander. Named after Ben Stiller's character in the movie by the same name. And its registered name is pretty cool. Really, really ridiculously good looking.
Thank you very much, and around.
And we see that. Gabby was the AKC's 2018 Terrier Group Breeder of the Year. Lots of success with this breed.
And when we return, more of the Terriers. Thanksgiving night, treat yourself to an extra helping of football. NFC South rivals collide when Matt Ryan leads the Atlanta Falcons against Drew Brees and the Saints tonight at 8 on NBC as we look at the breed judging ring earlier today.
Here we are back in the Terrier ring. Here's the American Hairless Terrier, which is truly an American breed. Came down from the Rat Terrier in the early 70s, but was recognized for competition in 2016. This is the hairless American Hairless Terrier. I'm hard for me to believe that it comes in 2 varieties, hairless and coated. I don't know how you can have a coated American Hairless Terrier, but they do.
Well, there's giant shrimp, too.
Well, they were bred to be a rat hunter, but without any coat to protect them. That's kind of not really equipped for it. This is Walker, the American Hairless Terrier. Walker's owner, handler, Janet Parker, does makeup for The Walking Dead. So that's how we get the dog's name, Walker, from Detroit, Michigan.
I would imagine if you have an allergy to dogs, this might be a breed you would consider. And this is a beautiful dog. This is the American Staffordshire Terrier.
American Staffordshire Terrier, very successful dog, too. This is Louis from Louisville. Born in Louisville, lives in Westfield, Massachusetts. Stacy Threlfall handling.
It is sturdy, muscular, and says confidence on every inch of this dog.
Lots of titles on this dog. He's involved in barn hunts, coursing, and dock diving. Great to see an Amstaff in dock diving. It's 138 all-breed best in show. Courageous, intelligence, affectionate dogs.
That's a beauty.
Was a hero in World War II, carrying messages.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful dog, the Amstaff. 4.5-year-old male. Louis. Here's the Norfolk. It's the other end of our dynamic duo here in Ernesto Lara. We saw Gabriel Rangel earlier with the wire, of course, with Winston.
Very popular breed here at the show. You can hear it in the audience. We have about 15,000 people here today. Attendance is up again.
Ernesto belongs to Nancy Shaw, and Pam Beal was shown as a youngster by Peter Green, and Peter got a best in show at Montgomery County Kennel Club on the dog. We'll turn him over to Ernesto. The drop ears makes them different from the Norwich, which has pointy ears.
I want to mention that assisting in the ring is permanent ring steward Stanley Broadbent.
Gave Winston a big win at a fun show, all breed winners in Portland earlier this year. It was nice to have him in my ring. So Ernesto and Winston, a 4-year-old male, multiple best in show winner. Number 2 terrier in the country at any given moment, might be number 1.
Welch, Lakeland, and Wire out, please.
All right. Connie Clark is making her first cut right now.
Hear her making her picks. See what
Aussie.
she's got there.
Scotty, Westy, Sky, Amstaff,
We'll let her tell you.
Norfolk.
Quite a large cut that she pulled.
Well, you know, sometimes it's tough to find those dogs. There's too many good ones. You never have enough ribbons. Sometimes you'll stand up there and say, geez, I need more ribbons. She looks down the line one more time.
Who do you like?
Well, I like the Wire, and I like the Norfolk, and I love the Amstaff, too. I mean, it's a great group.
Can I have the Wire out here, please? The Amstaff.
There it is. You were right.
There's the Wire. There's King.
Number 2 to the Amstaff. Number 3 to the Norfolk.
The Wire Fox Terrier is your winner.
The Amstaff, the American Staffordshire Terrier, is 2nd. The Norfolk is 3rd, and the Sky Terrier is 4th.
We have one group left on our way to Best in Show. And that means coming up next, the non-sporting dogs take to the ring for the first time. Here they come.
Welcome back to the National Dog Show presented by Purina.
Now, Johnny and I couldn't imagine competing against each other
Certainly
as
not.
best friends. Couldn't happen. But we're with Michael and Michelle, and they are married, and they compete against each other. Tell us about that.
Actually, it works really well for us.
How did you guys meet? Was it through dogs?
Through dog shows. We both were at dog shows and saw each other and
Saw each other from across the ring.
Now, you guys are running around doing all these competitions together. When you get home, do you put it all aside, or do you talk shop?
The truth of it is, when you're having dogs that you're dealing with all the time, I mean, it's we talk shop all the time.
but we also have our downtime that we step away from it.
How easy is it to actually form friendships and love bonds in this world? Because it is very competitive back here.
Easier than you would think. We all have our competitive part in the ring, but then at the end, don't you agree?
We always say the dogs, usually a dog's campaign 2 or 3 years, the dogs tend to come and go, but most of us are here for the long term.
What is it like when you're in the ring and you can kind of look over and see your wife standing there?
It makes me nervous.
It makes you nervous. It should make you feel good, right?
Because she's much better at it than I am.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, very good answer, Michael.
A wonderful story of companionship and competition.
Michael and Michelle, 2 of my favorite people. In the non-sporting group, there's the standard poodle, the Bichon Frise, the Coton de Tuliar, the Lo Chen, the Dalmatian, John's Sholo is Squintly, the Quezond, the Shiba Inu, the Skipper Key, there's the Lhasa Apso, the Tibetan Spaniel, the Tibetan Terrier, the Boston Terrier, the very recognizable French Bulldog, and speaking of recognizable, there's the Bulldog, the Chinese Shar-Pei, and the Chow Chow. 21 breeds and varieties in the non-sporting group. Originally, the AKC only registered dogs as sporting or non-sporting, and the Hounds and Terriers split off the sporting group, the Toys and Working split off the non-sporting, and everything that was left over was there in the non-sporting group. So that's why there's such a variety of sizes, shapes, and functions in here.
And here's a dog that I have come to love. This is the Coton de Tulier.
We love the Coton. This is London.
And if you ever have your chance to put your hands on the coat of this dog, it's like Pima cotton, hence coton, the French word for cotton.
The Coton comes with a history, if you will, of 16th century pilots and shipwrecks around the origins near Madagascar. They were recognized, actually. It took them a long time to get recognized in Madagascar. The first one got to France in the 70s. The first one got to the U.S. in about 1977. The Royal Dog of Madagascar, handled by Ernesto Lara for Justine Romano, the owner from Montville, New Jersey.
And now the very recognizable Dalmatian. Is it white on black or black on white? You tell me.
A nice feature with the judge earlier, Patty Sosa. Talk about those spots. This is Fury. Fury was named after the Plymouth Fury in their Mopar litter. 17-month-old female here, handled by Kevin Bednar for Amber Spradlin.
Interesting to learn that the Dalmatians were actually bred to be the carriage dogs. They would accompany the carriage. You can imagine how stately they look with a pair of Dalmatians on either side of you.
Well, these dogs really have an uncanny ability to anticipate the movement of the horses, and their job really is to keep stray dogs from getting in the midst of things there as the carriage comes up the road.
Judging the non-sporting group today is Ray Filburn, assisted by Michael Halstead at the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
Shiba Inu, look at that foxy face there. Very long time popular in Japan. Relatively new here, recognized about 25 years ago or so. They're smart, good watchdog. Kind of a cat-like personality, temperament. They're very fastidious. Can't be trusted off lead. Very athletic, smart. Beautiful dog. Titan, 6 years old. With breeder, owner, handler Kimberly Quaglio from Douglasville, Pennsylvania.
And we'll be back with more judging of the non-sporting group when we continue. Welcome back to the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center, home of the National Dog Show presented by Purina.
Here's our Lhasa Apso Billy, who's here from Hawaii. And how about this? He enjoys surfing. He can hang out with our Bergère Picard we saw earlier, who's a skateboarder.
Who's a skateboarder, yes.
But Billy was born in Hawaii, grew up in Japan, is owned by people in England, Hawaii, and California. He's 3 years old, multiple Best in Show winner, America's top Lhasa Apso in 2018. Adrian Agard, the breeder, owner, handler, showing us Billy, the Lhasa Apso, the lion dog. They're great watchdogs. They bark. Let us know what's going on out there. They pair up with a Mastiff. The Mastiff guards the outside. The Lhasa is in charge inside. One of 3 dogs from Tibet in this group, interestingly.
And here's a very popular dog right here, the Boston Terrier. This one looking more like his tuxedoed name, or nickname actually, the Gentleman.
The state dog of Massachusetts. It's recognized by the AKC really as probably the first original American breed. It's on a postage stamp in memory of that. Back when postage stamps were 20 cents. So that tells you how long ago that was. Boston Terrier Veronica, who's 15 months old, from Granby, Massachusetts, with breeder, owner, handler Marianne Mack, who's a veterinarian.
Good little dog, isn't he?
Loves to sleep in suitcases. Angel, you're not the only one.
That's right. Suitcases mean you're leaving.
Yeah, my dogs know that. They understand that. And they hang around, sleep in my suitcases, get under my feet, say, you're not going anywhere, pal. Here's our French Bulldog.
Also a very popular breed as well in the last few years, especially.
This Princeton, this is actually the #1 non-sporting dog. Won 37 Best in Shows. Top winning male Frenchie of all time. Handled by Jennifer Rangel, who's Gabrielle and Yvonne's daughter-in-law.
Straight up.
Santa Barbara, California, this is Princeton. And those bat ears that are a distinguishing characteristic, flat top skull.
Great little pouty face there, huh? It's adorable.
They are sweet dogs. They don't really have the pugnacious and sour expression of a bulldog. They're more kind of clownish.
A few steps forward and circle around.
They do have that short nose and foreface, which equals snoring. Beautiful dog, Princeton. Jennifer Rangel handling.
All right, he's going to be making a cut now.
Stand it up.
Standard poodle is out. Formation.
It's a nice group. It's a smaller group. Of course, the non-sporting group only has 21 breeds and varieties in it. Take a look at his lineup.
#1 today is a Lhasa.
Whoa!
#2 will be the French Bulldog.
Lhasa Apso is our final winner.
Billy joins the party, surfing on in to the Best in Show lineup. Second goes to the French Bulldog. The Skipper Key is third, and the Bulldog is fourth.
And we have our Best in Show class assembling right now. Ho, ho, ho. Stay with us. Who will be crowned? Get ready for all the dog show competition you love with the added glitz and glamour of Hollywood. This April, the paws are hitting the red carpet once again. The Beverly Hills Dog Show, Easter Sunday on NBC.
Excited about that. The little sister of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia. Here's our Best in Show lineup. There's the Doberman from the working group, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever from the sporting group, the Whippet from the hound group. The herding group has the Pembroke Welsh Corgi, the WEIR Fox Terrier from the Terrier group, the Lhasa Apso from the non-sporting group, and here you go, Angel, the Cavalier from the toy group.
And judging the Best in Show today will be Gear Flick Peterson, assisted by show chair Frank DiPaolo of the Kennel Club of Philadelphia.
And here we go. After nearly 2,000 dogs started the day, we've got 7 of them left. The 7 group winners competing for Best in Show.
Our audience at home is picking their favorites. David, who is yours? Do you have one?
Well, I love the Doberman. I think the Doberman is a wonderful show dog. The Whippet is a big winner.
Down and back to being freestanding when you come back here, please.
Of course, I got to root for the Cavalier.
Well, I'm going to go with the alma mater factor and support my little Sadie Mae at home.
Let's not forget King, the WEIR Fox Terrier, too. Trying to become one of the first dogs to win back-to-back national televised dog shows. Here's the Doberman Irupe. #1 working dog in Argentina in 2017, Carissa Champino, handling for owner Nancy Bosley.
Okay, round ring, please.
Doberman can put itself into a perfect stack. And you think, geez, that's way easy to do. Well, there's been some time. You see him 2 minutes in the ring. There's been a lot of time that's gone on in the training and conditioning of these dogs. There's the Chessie, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. We got a whole state rooting for this dog, I'm sure. The state dog of Maryland.
Thank you.
The water dog champion of the dog show world. This is Ducky, registered name Dr. Mallard from an NCIS character. 8-year-old male, breeder, owner, handler Annie Henshaw. The dog show family, her grandmother and grandfather got her started in dogs when she was 7 years old. She's now 21 from Mattapoisett, Massachusetts.
Okay, round ring, please.
Kind of fun to hear the audience reaction. They have their favorites out there as well. Here's the Whippet.
This is the Whippet from the Hound Group. Whiskey. #1 Hound, #1 Whippet in 2018. It's won 19 all-breed best in shows. Breeder, owner, handler Justin Smithy. Co-owner Dr. Ken Latimer. From Toana, Virginia.
Very elegant little head there.
Gotta love Whippets. They have impressed me as the star athlete of the dog show world. Fast, cut on a dime, leave you 9 cents change. Who used to say that?
Stops on a dime. Unfortunately, the dime was in his pocket.
The Whippet.
Round ring, please.
From the Hound Group.
Yeah, that's a good looking dog.
I think it's great that we get to this point and and you ask me who I like, and there's 7 dogs in there.
Yep.
It's tough to make a choice. We know who has the best records. We know who's the ones that were the most fun for us to see.
I know there's a lot of people at home that are rooting for the Corgi.
Well, I want you people at home to root for your breed. I call the alma mater factor again, that if you've got a Pembroke Welsh Corgi sitting on the couch next to you, root for the Pembroke Welsh Corgi, just like I root for my Oregon Ducks. The Pembroke Welsh Corgi has no tail. And he's not a small dog, he's just short. This is Bella, 3-year-old female, #1 Pembroke Welsh Corgi this year. Hudson, Ohio. Kara Janizek is the handler for Debbie Royster and Daniel Hartman, the owners.
Imagine this dog that's just kind of licking at the heels of the horses in the stable.
Tough little athletic dogs. Here's the Wire Fox Terrier King, 7 years old. Owned by Victor Malzoni from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Gabriel Rangel handling. We've seen Gabriel in the winner's circle many times.
Yes, this dog knows the meaning of best in show.
It was best in show at the Beverly Hills Dog Show for us on Easter Sunday. Gabriel's trying to get his attention. Here he comes, right into your living room. Or your kitchen. I hope you're in there working on your turkey. King.
Round ring, please.
Terriers.
Doesn't seem to have the same spirit as he did earlier today. Notice that as well?
Maybe he's had a long day. The Terriers, we need a little more excitement from the Terriers. Let's see if King can pull it together here on his next time around. Here's the Lhasa Apso, our surfing Hawaiian resident.
Who cannot see that he's already won.
Billy. His registered name is Silver Zeralane's Bite Me.
Oh dear. We had a Springer Spaniel named Champion Tara Jinkle. We called her Ding.
Adrian Agard here is the breeder, owner, handler. All you people in Hawaii have a dog to root for here, a hometown favorite.
Round ring, please.
Mililani, Hawaii. Beautiful Lhasa.
And finally, Cavalier King Charles. This is a beauty.
Speaking of hometown favorites.
That is a beauty. We have cousins that are watching right now, David.
I'm sure.
That's as pretty as a little face gets, isn't it? They are little love buckets, and you are right. Their home is in your lap.
I belong to Toy Dogs Anonymous myself. I've smitten by a toy dog. Angel. Evan Threlfall handling for owners Karen Chander, Ann Thader, and Cheryl Black from Stockbridge, Vermont. Bogey, 3-year-old male.
Round ring, please.
Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. All right, you've seen them all, and so has he. Takes a look down the line, kind of gathers his thoughts. Trying to put together what his hands felt and what his mind tells him about the breeds.
Very difficult position for a best in show judge because they have to have working knowledge of all 204 breeds.
That's true. He's got to know them all. I kind of laugh sometimes and say, in a lineup like this, you can close your eyes and point at anybody because you're going to get a great winner. I mean, I just gave you 4, 5. I give you 7 dogs here that I like.
It's a great shot.
Like the Doberman.
Oh, I'm just pacing.
There's the Whippet. Top hound in the country.
And the Lhasa. I still haven't a clue where I am. The Chesapeake Bay Retriever. A wire hair Fox Terrier.
There's King.
And the Doberman.
Rupe.
There is your best in show group.
Beautiful lineup.
All right. He's made his decision, and the entourage is with him, David.
I love them all. Close your eyes and point.
And best in show at the National Dog Show 2018 happens to be Whippet.
The Whippet.
Whiskey.
Whiskey wins.
And why wouldn't it?
When we come back, we'll have an interview with Mary. The National Dog Show is presented by Purina. Your pet, our passion.
Whiskey the Whippet is the champion. Justin, there were so many magnificent dogs here. Why did Whiskey win Best in Show?
Well, you'd have to ask the judge that.
Why do you think?
I think it's an outstanding example of what the ideal Whippet would look like. At least that's what we'd like to think.
And this is more than just a show dog to you, isn't it?
Yes, this is our companion, our pet. He was born by my bed.
Oh, how nice. Is that where he still sleeps?
Yes. Him and his sister.
Is that right? Oh, congratulations. Wow, what a moment for you both. Well done, Whiskey.
Thank you, Mary. And a reminder, if you go online to nationaldogshow.com, you can watch the videos of all 192 breeds, and you see more from Johnny, Tara, and Mary backstage at the National Dog Show. And tonight, you get an extra helping of football as the Falcons take on the Saints in prime time. Coverage begins at 8 Eastern on NBC. For David Fry, for the entire broadcast team, I'm John O'Hurley saying, Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.